Hello, everyone. My name is Derek Davis, and you're watching the Vigilant Podcast, episode 11. Today's guest we have here is a person that I consider a friend, a mentor, and she's one of the people that I hold close dear to my heart. None other than Miss Alpha Spearman. How are you doing, Miss Alpha
I'm
Spearman?
doing good. How are you?
I am doing good. I could be better, but hey, this is it's been one of them days already.
Of course, it doesn't help that it's raining outside, but
Yes,
you got to keep going.
yes. So so tonight, we just gonna have a little chat tonight. So
Okay.
what have you been up to? You a hard person to catch these days.
Oh goodness. Whew. I try not to be my friends call me Hollywood sometimes because half the time I just can't answer the phone, but I'm doing better. Um I'm just going and going and going. I pretty much started my own brand of Alfayana. That's my first and middle name.
Hmm.
And with the branding of it, I've pretty much taken what I'm trying to do is build my clientele with the agency of
Hmm.
building up and coming artists. Besides that, I'm a plus size model. Besides that, I get to host events. It's really fun. In my professional life, I'm an accountant for a big investment firm. So that's amazing too. I'm just all over the place. I'm always busy. And on top of that, I'm a gym rat. I've lost 50 pounds. So it's just it my day to day, it keeps going and going, but it wouldn't be me if it wasn't busy. So I love it.
Okay, well, okay. I said when I first came up with this, when I first came up with this idea, I said who can be my next guest, and I said, you know what? Let me inbox Alpha and see what she says, and we're here now. So as they
Yeah.
say, the rest is history.
Of course, definitely so. I try my best, especially when it comes to family, mentees, all those things, to see some of my YPDers grow up and do their own thing.
Uh huh.
It's amazing. And anything that I do, especially after I resigned from my position as president, I let everybody know I'm still here. You can ring me, you can text me, whatever you need, I'm here. So I was just great and really grateful, honestly, and honored to be asked to come and do your podcast. I've been seeing it and it's been going amazing. So I'm very proud of you.
Yes, it took me a while to get the hang of it. At first, I was like, I at first I said, is this good for me? And then, as I did a couple of episodes, I took 1 week off, and I just realized that this is what God has in store for me. So
Of
I
course.
picked back up on it, and ever since I've been going at it, and just giving it a go, trying my best to make it succeed. But it's kind of it's hard. Be finding that motivation
Of course.
that I have to do things like this. Like sometimes, some days I wake up and say, do I really want to? Do I really want to do this today, or do I really have enough willpower to do this today?
Of course.
Yes. Do you find that hard to
Um,
do?
Definitely, I've had my obstacles with it, but I
Mm-hmm.
think the best thing that I always prayed to God was to let me walk in purpose. So when
Mm-hmm.
you walk in purpose, it doesn't, of course, with anything, you'll have to be motivated.
Mm-hmm.
But when you walk in purpose, it's like you get the energy, you get the fuel, you get the motivation to do so. And
Mm-hmm.
when you walk in purpose with whatever it goes from health wise to entertainment wise to business wise, professionally, when you walk in purpose, it's going to go and it's going to be successful. So it's definitely hard. Some days I wake up at 7 a.m. Some days I wake up before that. Some days I wake up after that. While also having a social life. It takes a lot, but I'm just so grateful to be able to have that energy to stay up and do what I need to do. But going back to it, just walking in purpose, whatever God has called you to do, it's going to be successful, but you just have to trust the process, and you also have to have faith with movement and with action. So continue doing whatever you feel is your purpose, whether
Mhm.
it's going forth with the podcast that's going extremely successful or going another venture. At the end of the day, whatever is destined for you will be great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Have you I know when you were done with YPD, did you have that moment where you say, okay, God, what's next for me? What is next for me? What do I
Of
do now?
Of course, to be very transparent, after I resigned, it was more so of getting to find out what I was and what Alpha was. Because Alpha was always in YPD. A lot of people do know, a lot of people don't know, but my parents met in YPD. My
Hmm.
father was vice president on the district. My mother was a YPD director. So YPD has been my entire life. And so to take a step back and to really just go in and see what Alpha wants, it took some time, of course. But once I got it, the tools that I used in YPD, I use now in life. And so I'm very grateful for that. But it took some time, but once I got the groove of it, Alpha became Alpha, not from YPD, but for Alpha being Alpha. And so it's great to have the learning tools of YPD. But once I branched and did my own thing, I just been going and going and going.
Did, did okay now that I know that you were the church that you joined was what Kingdom Harvest.
Yes, I joined Kingdom Harvest, and then that was amazing. I loved it. All actually, a lot of my colleagues from college,
Mm-hmm.
they went with me. We were going to Bible study, all those things. Kingdom Harvest actually moved to, I believe, the Dallas area.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I went back to pretty much what I knew best. My godmother is great friends with Pastor Dr. Cynthia Wolford, and
Mm-hmm.
she had became pretty much my mom in ministry
Mm-hmm.
growing up when she moved back to Kansas. A lot of people don't know that she actually was an AME preacher also.
Mm-hmm.
And so she created her own and founded her own church, Greater Faith Christian Church. And I started going to that when I was in Wichita my sophomore year until I pretty much left um, from Wichita after I graduated. And it was amazing. If you knew me, I would go to Bible study, I go to choir rehearsal, I go to whatever Saturday events we'd have, and go to church on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But it was great to have that community of family and to have people know you and to love on you and to be there for you without any doubt or any worry. So yeah, I definitely got to broaden my spirituality when I did go to Wichita State. Um, and just focus more about my relationship with God without the politics, without the extra drama, without the extra everything else, positions and hierarchy. It was just really like, God, I just want more of you and I need you to pour more into me. And so, Wichita State, when I went there and I was under Greater Faith Christian Church, it was a blossom for me, and I got to really figure out my purpose also while I was there. So that was definitely helpful, and to have the support of everybody. If you do not know, I'm a Wichita State graduate alumni, and I'm also born and raised in Wichita. 316 is my city, so it was a blessing to go back there and to be around family, but family that also helped groom me also and grow me into adulthood.
Okay, okay. Now, when you were in college, did you have a hard time juggling the life, your own goals and making sure that everyone else was straight? Did you have a hard time juggling?
Of course. My freshman year, I was actually the president of the
Mm-hmm.
Midwest Conference. So
Mm-hmm.
I was juggling, just trying to be, away from my parents because I'm an only child. So being
Mm-hmm.
away from my parents, being into this world where they taught me all these lessons. Now I have to figure them out. And to have a social life, to be active at Wichita State University, and on top of that, just trying to make sure I made it to Los Angeles for mid-year for planning meeting. I was hopping. I remember one time I was on spring break and we had LTI, and that was in Atlanta. And my family wanted to go to where did we go to? We went to Memphis, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went there for about 3 days, caught a Grizzly game, and all those things. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, my dad had to take me to the airport so I could go to LTI. So it was a great experience, being able to travel, and I've grown so many friendships and relationships and sisterhood and brotherhoods that, when I do go and travel to different events, I can go and see people and know people in the city.
Mhm.
But besides that, it was definitely hard. But I just allowed God's grace to guide me. And so I came out, graduated from Wichita State on the Dean's Honor Roll. And on top of that,
Yeah.
I was a part of so many different organizations such as Soccer Hall, Activities Council, and the Fine Arts Music Department of Wichita State University. So it was hard. It was a hard start, but the finish was the best part about it. Um, and yeah, it's just you had to. I had. I learned, this is what I tell everybody who goes to college, especially undergrad.
Mhm.
You have to do your homework before you do any partying, and that's what I
Mhm.
did. And so 2 hours before, I was typing out papers, 5-page papers. But then I had a social life, and I got to do what I want. Just finding that balance, because I think that's very vital to adulthood. I had to find my balance where I'm at work, and then I had to go to the gym, and then I could get back on work, or I can go and do tacos tonight for Taco
Mhm.
Tuesday, that sort of thing. So just
Mhm.
trying to balance it. I think that's the part of life that everybody has to find their own balance and their own juggle. But yeah.
Okay. My next question I have for you, what made you say it was time to change?
Oh goodness. I'm not gonna even say that it was on my time. The one thing that I've learned about myself is that God has definitely shined a great light on me.
Mhm.
Um and pretty much I'm pushed by God half the time. So it
Mhm.
wasn't like I really changed. It was more so as I evolved into more of what was greater, because I know that at the end of the day we can be right here, but God
Mhm.
sees you right here.
Mhm.
So trying to pretty much just let him have the rings, because I am very one of those I'm a person who I like to be ahead of everything that I'm
Mhm.
doing. If my name is on it, I want to be the forefront. Even when I was in my presidency with the YPD, the president is supposed to be the face, but the president was also doing the jobs of other people, helping train up so they can understand. And on top of that,
Mhm.
I've always been a humble person. I don't have a problem sweeping or doing some stuff or taking down some stuff after a bit. So,
Mhm.
just I guess it was more so evolving. It was almost like a caterpillar. I was ready to pretty much evolve, and God was trying to pretty much keep me in that cocoon so you can understand what I have for you and so you can see what I have for you. And then finally, when I got out that cocoon, I blossomed. But the best part about it is I feel like I'm always evolving, just with anybody. Statistically, every 8 years a person changes. So it's
Mhm.
one of those things where we get to really just go into that caterpillar phase. It's almost like when we butterfly, we're in harvest season, but when we're in caterpillar, we're kneading and we're growing and we're trying to tend to our crop. So
Mhm.
I I believe that I was just tending a lot. I was definitely tending a lot, and that's the reason why I can really say that I'm humbled to reap what I sow, because I know what I did to tend my crop. So yeah,
Mhm.
I don't think I had to change. I think I just needed to evolve. And God was just like, come on, let me show you a couple things. And that's
Yeah.
what happened.
I tell you, with me, I went to college my first year out of high school.
Mm,
I liked it. I liked some part of it, but
yeah,
then I couldn't get myself together my sophomore year. So
yeah.
I took one semester off. I went
Hmm.
back in the spring. The
Hmm.
financial aid was crazy,
Right.
so I said, you know what? I went back again, and
Hmm.
it just wasn't working out. So I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna just say no to this college thing.
Hmm.
It was too much for me. I had I had this one class. It was psychology. It was giving
Hmm.
me the blues. It was
Oh
giving me the
yeah.
blues, and
Mm-mm. No.
I said, you know what? I think it was time for me to go. Have you ever been at that point like where you just say this class is giving me the blues? What do I do? What do I do?
Um, I think we all have. I know I have. After I graduated from Wichita State,
Mhm.
I was a COVID graduate. So
Mhm.
the world shut down a month before I pretty much graduated in May.
Mhm.
And so when the world shut down, I graduated from Wichita State. I was bored out of my mind because this is something that I'm used to. I'm used to having to turn in things. So during that year after I graduated, I went to NYU and got certified in music
Mhm.
industry essentials under the Clive Davis Institute. And then after that, I was like, you know what? Let's keep this thing going. So I was blessed to be able to, background story, I went to Nashville about I think was it last March or it's the March before last. And I was looking at Belmont University. Belmont University is number 64, um, ranked number 64 under music colleges in pretty much the nation.
Mhm.
Best colleges. So I went to Belmont and I didn't get accepted in. And for me, it was definitely something that was just like, what? Like, why? Why me? I have the credentials. I got this, you know? And it's almost like, oh, I love this. We all see this video that has this small teddy bear and he takes it away. And then
Mhm.
God brings back a bigger one behind his back.
Mhm.
And so a month later, I said, God, if I'm supposed to even continue in my education, I need a sign.
Mhm.
I happened to stump onto Berklee College of Music. If anybody doesn't know, it is the number two music college in the nation and
Mhm.
number three worldwide. It is actually founded by Quincy Jones, the Honorable. Um, and I wanted to, for my master's, I wanted to, because in my undergrad at Wichita State, I was music and business management. So going into master's, I wanted to find a college that had music business because I feel like everybody can sing, everybody can play. I vocal coach, I sing, I play piano, but I want to know the business. I want to
Mhm.
know where the money comes, where the revenue comes from. And so I asked God and I just stumbled upon it. I said, you know what? This is my last time. I'm not paying for no more application fees. And I think it was 2 weeks later, I received a letter and I was accepted. Going from number 64 to number two, that I think for me, it showed me God's grace and it showed me that, even being put in situations of disbelief or discouragement, you have to focus back on God. So, answering your question, I'm in master's right now. And last semester, I had two classes. Oh my goodness. I remember in my fourth week of my class last semester, my two
Mhm.
classes last semester, I called. Um, Many of you know her as presiding elder Francie Carey. That's my
Mhm.
Grammy to me. I
Mhm.
called her and I was just like, I can't do it anymore. This is too much. I'm just so frustrated. I can't get it. Like, I don't even have a social life. I can't even go anywhere. On Saturdays, I'm doing papers. I'm doing this to do that. And she told me, she said, okay, Alpha. She said, so what you gonna do if you stop now? And that resonated with me so much. Even after all the frustration I had, I said, out of all this advice that you can give me, you gave me this little piece. Um, but now, um, going through still masters, I graduate in spring 2024, 23, my bad. We're in 22 already. Um, I learned that I had to press on. Um, Even though the road looks tough and we struggle and we jump through obstacles, especially with external things such as me trying to get on this weight loss journey, with me trying to professionally grow in the spectrum and prove myself already.
Mhm.
On top of still going through school and on top of still trying to have a social life, trying to do events, trying to travel.
Mhm.
Um, Life really weighed down on me. And so when I came to my education, I was just like, I already got this degree and this certification. What do I need a master's for? But I had to reel myself in and say, God didn't place you here for no reason. And
Ooh.
so I had to struggle. I did. My hair probably wasn't done probably once a week. But I had to go through the storm. And there's a song that goes by Brent Jones, Go Ahead. Well, Go Through the Storm is by him, but he says in the lyrics, go ahead, go through the storm with God. And then when he hits the bridge, he says, you about to be stronger, you about to be wiser, you about to be bigger, you about to be greater.
Mm-hmm.
Territory getting wider, So I think for anybody, you got to go through the struggle to get to the light and the success, such as it says, like weeping may come at night, but joy comes in the morning. Like that it plays on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just had to struggle through it. And nothing's wrong with struggling. I think that's one thing because we're so fast or we're so eager to put everything that's good on social media
Mm-hmm.
that we get discouraged and we think that, oh, everybody's life's going well. Why is mine HE double hockey sticks?
Ooh.
But in reality, people only show what they want to show. They're not going to show you the struggle. They're not going to show
Mm-hmm.
you how they got from only $1 to now they a millionaire off of being an entrepreneur. They're not going to show you
Mm-hmm.
those things. But I think it would be wiser for us to actually congratulate the struggle also, because once you're in the struggle, if you're in the struggle, that means that your breakthrough is about to come. So I believe in the struggle, and I did definitely struggle my undergrad. I struggled now, not really now anymore, because now I've gotten a balance, as we talked about earlier. Um, but just pretty much persevering, utilizing your tools. I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't get with education. All these colleges, especially when it comes to financially, educationally, utilize your tools of your advisor, your academic advisor, your teacher. Let them know. I promise you, especially in masters, they understand that there's a wide variety of ages. So we all are living in adulthood at this time. So
Mm-hmm.
being able to utilize your tools, and on top of that, when it comes to finances, there's a lot of schools, especially that want to have bigger graduate studies, that offer these grants, that offer these grad plus loans and all these things so you can help yourself to persevere. But concluding on to it, at the end of the day, college isn't for everybody. Um,
Right.
I've seen people become millionaires from having a doctorate, and people become millionaires from just pretty much working a 9 to 5, but then becoming an entrepreneur and working for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no strategy to the game. It's just the point of when you walk in purpose, and when God pushes you to that, that's where you're going to go, and that's what's success for you. For you, my success is not your success. Your success is not mine. Um, so yeah, struggle. Look, the struggle is real. You better struggle
Yes.
through it.
Yes. 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 I now, well, speaking of your your masters, you have a
Mhm.
master's in art and music business program at Berkeley.
Mhm.
Go ahead,
Yes.
girl.
Yeah. It's great, to be honest with you. It's an amazing program. I'm being taught by legends, such as the lawyer of OJ's. Like being
Mm-hmm.
taught by legends is amazing. Even at NYU, I was being taught by some of the top producers, but when I got accepted into Berklee College of Music, I thought that I was doing something. I looked at their resume. I said, "Oh my gosh!" Just to be able to still have that connection, even though I'm online, because I still want to have my own life, of course.
Mm-hmm.
To have that connection between the screen and if I'm emailing them or whatsoever, to like have that connection with the person who's been through the business, who understands the business and wants you to grow. I think that is a big thing when you're looking for any organization, any education, even any profession within a workforce. You have to make sure that they want you to do better, that they
Mm-hmm.
want to push you to do better, and they want to help you grow. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not based off of, competition or who has the best credentials and all those things. It's just about creating a community of people. And that's life, just period. Creating your community of people to help you grow. Yeah, it's something stressful, but I love it. I'm actually in a financials for entrepreneurs right now. And so I got 106% in my college algebra class at Wichita State, but boy, this is nothing like it. So I'm going through that, but it helps me with my everyday life. I'm an accountant, so it everything that I do at my classes is kind of filters over to my day-to-day life. So
Hmm. Where where now you if you I know we all see the some of us can see the future. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Where do you see yourself?
um oh goodness. I could say a lot. Um I see myself successful. I think that that embodies everything. Um I want to pretty much be successful in my professionalism, such as workforce, of course. I want to be successful in finances also. I'm starting to build my portfolio in investments. So
Hmm.
definitely that, because I've always been a person, work smarter, not work harder, unless I'm in the gym, of course.
Hmm.
Um, I see myself blossoming even more. I feel like with even every week, with every month, to even every day, I see myself becoming better and working on myself, and that's one thing that has helped me. But besides that, I can tell you the materialistic things. Like I would hope to be married. I would hope to have at least 2 kids, because we're not going more than that. Have a big old house with a white picket fence, a couple cars. Getting to give the kids to grandma. Well, as a lot of people know, Megan.
Hmm.
Give them to them so we go on vacation. That sort of aspect of life. That's my goal. Besides everything, professionally and business wise, and what goes on with Alpha and Yana, I still my biggest dream is to be a wife and to be a mother. Still, I still have those traditional aspects. So for me, that would be successful, of course, but to also just be a bigger force in life. Um, and I don't mean that in a way that's not humble. I mean that in a point where I want to get to a spectrum where my light shines so bright that it touches from each sides of the nation. So that's definitely my goal, and
Yeah.
I am trying my best to get it there sooner than 10, hopefully.
Okay. Now, who do you owe your success to?
Oh Lord. Besides the Lord God Himself.
Hmm.
Um, I have a great village. I definitely have a great village. I have my mother and my father, who I love dearly. They have definitely taught me the aspects of business.
Hmm.
I look up to them when it comes to business, each and every day. I have some praying and protecting godparents, Vicky Bell Lewis, and my godfather, Bill Lewis. And so, having that, I have a lot of grandparents also who are
Hmm.
some praying people. But I just have a great support system, and I have definitely, within life, especially going into adulthood and adjusting through the different changes of life, you get to see who definitely supports you and who definitely doesn't. And so I have got the formula a little bit down now, to where I've surrounded myself with a village when it comes to family and when it comes to
Hmm.
close friends that really want to see just Alpha go hard,
Hmm.
and they support me with everything. When I ask for encouragement, when I ask for prayers, even when I tell them, I'm really struggling with this, y'all, I need some help. But then
Hmm.
also, like today, I had some congratulations towards me, so even them giving me congratulations. We're all playing this game of life. And so there's no reason for us to be non-supporting, or to not be there to cheer somebody on, someone's success. I think the best thing that I ever heard from one of my mentors were, when you see somebody in your close circle get that promotion, or get that degree, or get that lifestyle, or get that big check, that's how you know the chores is coming, because it's
Hmm.
always going to come close to home before it comes to you. Um, so yeah, I owe my success to my village. I owe my success to God. There was a lot of people who, what do they say, praying on my downfall. There was a lot of people before I was even born, who
Hmm.
didn't want to see my mother make it, who didn't want to see me make it. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm her best looking trophy right now, my mother. So it's a blessing to be able, but to be able to be successful, even though I'm not all the way there. But I think it's pretty much the help of people because I wouldn't be me without people. I wouldn't be me without the wisdom they instill in me, the prayers, the advice, the goal setting. Like I didn't just hop out the womb and be like, oh, I'm gonna be this person. I was taught that
Mhm.
way and I was prayed to be that way. And I just feel like that it wasn't just me, but at the same point, as Snoop Dogg said, and I want to thank me also, So I I couldn't. It's everybody really, including myself.
Okay, okay. I tell you, you are just manifesting to me right now. You are just
Look, I'm trying.
manifesting. Uh, I just don't know. I'm just sitting back just listening. You are manifesting to everyone out there.
Look.
Yes. Oh, sorry about that. Well, that was my brother that we were feeding my dog.
It's okay. No, you're supposed to like, and I think that's the thing. The reason why the way that I am is because I
Yeah.
saw people growing up like me. And
Mhm.
that's the best part about ministry or just being a woman or man of faith.
Mhm.
We're supposed to see that so you can see that, if it could happen to them, it could happen to me,
Mhm.
So it it's definitely it's definitely a great feeling to be that way, but it's very humbling
Yeah.
because sometimes I'm not going to even lie to you. Sometimes I do not feel worthy, but God always reminds me of my worth and reminds me of the value that I have towards not only this world but to His people. And so, yeah, I wouldn't even say manifest it. You just speak it, and that's one thing I learned. If I speak it, it's gonna happen.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm. Now we have come to our final question. If you
okay.
were to die tomorrow,
Oh goodness! Wow.
what? Sorry, so dark. If you were to die tomorrow, what is something that you will want the world to remember about Alpha Theory?
Oh goodness. Oh Jesus. Oh, there's a lot of things. As I tell my friends all the time, do not grab the mic at my wedding nor my funeral, because you do not need to tell that story. Um, I think I will go with what I said. I believe I still live by it. I said it in the high school senior paper.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do this for recognition. I do it for the empowerment of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always wanted to empower people because I've
Mm-hmm.
seen people empower me, but also I wanted to take it to another level because there's so many things that we're struggling with in the world that I've always wanted to push myself to be a light, to inspire, to empower, but also to be a home for people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so besides all, I don't do anything for recognition at all. Even if
Mm-hmm.
I get to my top level of being shoot better than Beyonce at this point, I still would do it for the empowerment of others because
Mm-hmm.
I don't get anything from recognition. What I get from people is the light that I shine from them, from seeing my light reflect onto them and they become successful, not me successful. Of course, I always want to be successful, but just empowering others. I think there's so much in this world that's not empowering. So it's very not normal for you to see someone who's walking in their life and who's trying to empower others. And that's what makes us all unique if we use our own light to empower others. It will help the world. It would help daily lives. Just a smile goes a long way. Just an encouragement goes a long way. Just advice that the Lord gives me to give to other people goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I just want to empower people, honestly. Like that is my biggest goal in life. Besides everything that I do, my whole resume of what Alpha can't and can do, I want to just empower people because I feel like why not? Like it's fun and it's inspiring and it's motivating and it's driving. I want anybody to be their best self just like me. We're all on the same journey. So, yeah, I just want to empower people.
Well, I like your answer. Now we've come to a close. First of all, I want to thank you for joining me today. I,
Of
I look
course.
at you as one of my big sisters in
Of
in
course.
in, in anything I do. First of all, I want to thank you for when I first joined the Midwest. You were the first person that really
Of course.
took me under your wing and made me feel welcome. So I want to thank you for doing helping me because I was as nervous as ever that first time I met everyone. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to thank you for everything you've done.
Of
So
course.
I'm going to, if you wouldn't mind praying us out.
Of course.
Okay.
Lord, I thank you for this day. I thank you for fellowship. I thank you for the minds and the ears that and the eyes that are listening to this right now at the tone of our voice, God. I ask for your blessings, God. I ask for your deliverance, God. I ask for your hope, God. I ask for your motivation. I ask for
Yes,
your energy, God. I
yes,
hope their takeaway during this live is to drive within purpose to their success, God. I ask that you touch anyone at the sound of my voice that needs something from you, a little extra of something, God. I thank you for this opportunity, God. I thank you for giving me this time to see the growth within Derek, God. And I thank you for putting him in many and numerous lives, God. I ask that you continue to drive him through his purpose, God, and give him his light so that he may shine in this world, God. I thank you so much and I love you. And we all say together,
yes.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you,
Thank
Alpha.
you so much. And I'm so proud of you. This is so amazing. I was just so happy. I was jumping on my feet. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be on a podcast. This is my first podcast. I've been on a magazine, but it's like, I'm on the first podcast. I love podcasts. I listen to podcasts all the time. So to be able to be on yours specifically, it's just amazing. And to see your growth, even as I was at the forefront of your life and now even the background to see you, just to see you grow and to shine into um blossom into your own. It's amazing to see that, and I'm just so grateful and so humbly honored to be here with you right now. So you keep going. I'm gonna still cheer for you, whatever you need, and that's for anybody watching this. Of course, all my wife videos that I've trained and all the people who I love so
Mhm.
dearly. If you need anything, please give me a call, or if you can't get a hold of me, send me a text. I'll definitely see it. But yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. I appreciate
You're welcome anytime. I try. I try. It's so hard.
it.
It's so hard.
Of course.
So I'm gonna end this right now.